After Gamescom, many people didn't like Xbox One X. What do you think about it? Is the Xbox One X still worth it? Okay, so here's the thing about Gamescom for those of you that may not have seen it. Basically, Microsoft's presentation was a highlight reel of everything they did back at E3. It was a lot of the same trailers, which I loved their E3 presentation, but when it's a new convention months later and you're showing the exact same stuff, not exactly the greatest sell in the world. Now, there was some new stuff, but it was a lot of niche titles or new 4K upgraded versions of games that don't exactly move systems, like, for instance, Disneyland Connect. Just not the best sell in the world. And the big problem is the fact that this is going on at the same time as we get the announcement that Crackdown 3, one of the biggest Microsoft exclusives for this holiday season, has now been pushed back to some unknown date in spring of 2018. So that leaves really only one major game for Microsoft this year in the holiday season, and that's Forza 7. I mean, we have some indie games as well, but those aren't exactly huge arguments for why you should buy a 4K super powerful system. Do I think this is going to impact the hype and sales for it? Honestly, not really. I think anyone that's interested in the idea of a super powerful home console that's going to do 4K gaming for multi-platform titles and what few Microsoft exclusives we have, I think they're going to buy it still. I mean, 4K gaming is cool and all, but let's not kid ourselves. The big star of the show is that we have Minecraft-themed controllers, including a curlicue tail on this pig. What AAA games would you like to see on Switch? Now, this is kind of a weird one for me because when I think about the kind of games that are traditionally considered big AAA titles, I don't think about them really working on the Switch. I mean, it used to be a weakness for Nintendo, but I think that's kind of a strength now because the Switch demands much more unique experiences. You know, I don't think of games like Call of Duty or Star Wars Battlefront or Assassin's Creed, even Skyrim, even though it's going to the Switch, it just doesn't really make sense to me. I think you need to make something a little more unique. Now, if we're talking about franchises that I think could have specific entries for the Switch, it's probably inevitable, but I really want to see some Final Fantasy stuff make its way to the Switch. Specifically, you know, I don't think mainline stuff would really make sense, but if they did something where they revived Crystal Chronicles, where it's this 4-player co-op experience thing, that is perfectly suited to the Switch, and actually, the more I think about it, I really want that Square Enix get on it right now. Why do you wear a beanie? What beanie? Which games are you excited for coming before year's end? Okay, well, first off, since we were already talking about Xbox, one big game I am still hyped for a bunch is Cuphead. aside from that, I'm looking forward to Wolfenstein 2, the new South Park game finally coming out. My biggest game is probably Super Mario Odyssey, and then while it's not really a full game, it's just standalone DLC, I am really excited for Dishonored 2: Death of the Outsider. Do you think Destiny 2 will be successful despite it being fairly similar to the original Destiny? Look, we have to have an honest moment here when it comes to big game releases in the gaming industry right now. A lot of them are very similar to one another. I mean, it's practically required with how many franchises have yearly releases going on. You just don't have the time to do major reinventions or huge changes. Yeah, you'll get a big shift here and there, but there's tons of games where 3 or 4 games in a row are all basically the same thing. The only reason why Destiny 2 is getting extra flack for this right now is because this is the first sequel of the franchise, and because Destiny is kind of an MMO. So the first game got us used to having expansion packs, and the question comes up, well, why can't we just keep doing expansion packs instead of having to do a whole new game? But still, it is a new game. Yes, there are a lot of things in common. It has the same classes, it has some of the same subclass types, but there are new ones. There are new missions, new story. A lot of it is still brand new. So I think some people are going to complain about it either way, but ultimately, Destiny 2 is going to get the sales it's going to get either way. The only thing that can kind of hold it back is if it's just as barren as the first one at launch where we don't have enough content. As long as there's content at launch, I think Destiny 2 is going to do well. Which retro system would you like to make a comeback soon? So that's obviously a big thing going on right now. I mean, Nintendo kickstarted it with the NES Classic Edition. We have the SNES Classic Edition coming out soon, which is already sold out everywhere despite not being released yet. And then there's stuff like Sega's going to do a better at-games re-release system of the Genesis, Atari's doing something. A lot of people are hoping we're going to get an N64 Classic next year, but honestly, I kind of hope Nintendo throws a bit of a curveball and instead focuses on their portable systems.
Nintendo, right in the palm of your hand.
If we had something that had games from the Game Boy or even going up to the Game Boy Color or all the way to the Game Boy Advance, I think that would be really cool. Not to mention it would kind of shake things up because we'd have a portable system instead of something that has to hook up to a TV. I think it'd be a nice little change.